Hey, everybody. It's Anna Keck. It's 9:32, and it is time to get our Ask the Doctor program on the road. We have been doing these for like the last 3-4 months and just coming in and dealing with health issues that you have and figuring out how we can best assist you. What I love about these is Dr. Jeremy talks in normal people's language. He doesn't say things that like goes over the top of your head. I always hated going to the doctor because you couldn't even write down what they said because they were words you normally don't spell. And then, they give you this long thing and you don't understand it. So he just breaks it down to real basic language and normal people can understand what's being said. And so I guess we're all normal here. But anyway, we will say up front, we're not here to diagnose, treat, cure, any of those things. We are just here to share with you this incredible product that came to us a few months ago in the form of these little miracle drops, a blessing in a bottle, as Kylie says. And it has absolutely changed our lives. But sometimes we just need to know, what is the science? What are the benefits? What can happen for you? And then I think we're even going to have a few people share their testimonies, aren't we?
Yes, I think we have 4 tonight.
Woo! That's great. I love the testimonies. It makes you, on the days when you hate getting out of bed because you don't want to talk to no one, it makes you want to get out of bed because you want to hear another good story. And if you don't do, guess what? People don't find out about this wonderful product. So take it away, Dr. Jeremy, and tell us about the science.
Hey guys, my name is Dr. Jeremy Thornton. I am an internist, a chiropractic physician, and a clinical nutritionist out of Missouri. Been in practice 23 plus years, and my primary area of focus in practice is autoimmune disease and chronic inflammatory conditions. And so, as you can imagine, turmeric and curcumin has been a part of that conversation for most of those years. And I'm going to explain a little bit about curcumin, some of the challenges that are just by nature related to curcumin and turmeric, and many of you probably have experienced maybe some of those frustrations in using it as well. And so the reason I explain things in easy to understand is because, again, I am from Missouri and I can't pronounce big words anyway. So let me see, I'm going to screen share here and we'll get started. Let's see here.
I think I gave you the controls.
I think we got it.
Do you know how hard that was for me to give that up? I'm joking.
Can you see my screen yet?
I can.
Okay. All right. Is it working?
Yes, it is.
All
perfect.
Right.
Looks great.
Okay, and guys, as we go along here, feel free to drop questions in the chat box if you have any. We'll try to have a few minutes for questions at the end. I want to get through the information quickly and completely, so that we can get onto some pretty amazing testimonials. Because I like the science and everything, but I really like to see what people are experiencing and how things are affecting them in their life. So turmeric, of course, is where curcumin comes from, right? Oftentimes called the golden spice. What most people don't realize is that turmeric is the root of a plant called curcumin longa. So this pretty plant over here that you see, but the medicinal component is actually the root. It's not the flowers, not the leaves, it's the root. And this has been in use, documented for well over 6,000 years in as a medicine, both in Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine. It's been called Ushadi, the herb above all others. It's been called Jayanti, victorious over diseases, native to Southeast Asia, India. Traditionally been used in cooking as a dye also, and for, of course, medicinal purposes. These are some of the components that are in turmeric. Of course, curcumin, different forms of curcumin and turmerones and other compounds. Curcumin, I call it the therapeutic component of turmeric. It's the main bioactive component, most studied component It's a polyphenol actually that belongs in the ginger family. It is lipophilic in nature, and this is going to be part of the challenging component of using curcumin and turmeric, which we'll talk about in just a bit. It does not dissolve in water, which can be problematic when you're trying to get this into the bloodstream. That's mostly water, right? And so I just did a quick search on PubMed, just curcumin, and look how many results of papers that are out there on curcumin. 18,838 individual papers on curcumin. So needless to say, this is often called the most powerful plant known to man, and I would say it's also the most researched herbal plant known to man. So this is from this journal up here at the top. These are the current effects, well-known effects of curcumin, and there's a lot of science to back this up. It's anti-inflammatory activity, it's antioxidant activity, it's anti-cancer benefits, it's neuroprotection, hepatoprotection, that's liver, cardiovascular protection, anti-diabetic effects, and immune regulation. So that pretty much wraps everything up, right? About every health condition we could probably think of would fall into one of those categories. Here's another article in the International Journal of Biochemistry and Cell Biology. Potential therapeutic effects of curcumin, the anti-inflammatory agent against neurodegenerative, cardiovascular, pulmonary, that's lung, metabolic, autoimmune, and neoplastic diseases. That's quite a lofty amount of health conditions, right? And so here is just a visual of all the inflammatory pathways that are inhibited by curcumin. I always laugh because how many are inhibited by ibuprofen? This one right here. Okay, so that sums it up. These are some of the most, I guess, studied disease processes on all those, remember those 18,000 studies that are out there on different skin diseases, okay, lung diseases, liver diseases, neurodegenerative disorders, other inflammatory diseases, infectious diseases, endocrine disorders, heart disease, bone abnormalities, different cancers. This is a huge list, but there's a lot of actual science showing curcumin benefits in all of these conditions. All right, there's always a big but, right? And this is where we're talking about some of the challenges with curcumin. The hidden secret: science has discovered that phytonutrients, phytochemicals, curcumin has intestinal absorption and bioavailability problems, okay? What percentage of curcumin that you ingest do you think is absorbed at the intestinal level? I'll just let you get a wild guess. How much is absorbed if you take it by mouth in a capsule or grind up the root or however you want to take that curcumin? 10%, actually quite a bit less depending on the quality of the supplement that you're using. Again, that bioavailability issue. So this journal article here really talks about it quite well, the problem of curcumin and its bioavailability. Curcumin has been confirmed to exhibit poor, very poor bioavailability, with many studies showing very low or even undetectable concentrations in the blood and extraintestinal tissues. Major reasons postulated are due to its poor absorption, rapid metabolism, chemical instability, and rapid systemic elimination. Okay, so we consume that by mouth, and it has gone rather quickly with very little actually getting into the bloodstream, if at all, and less than that actually getting to a cellular level. And this is what we're talking about tonight. We're going to talk about a new technology that completely changes all of those things, all of those hindrances towards curcumin turmeric, its benefits and its bioavailability issues. This here is what we're talking about here, this BioMS technology, which studies we're going to talk about here show up to 277 times more bioavailable than standard turmeric or curcumin supplements. 10 drops of this little stuff right here is equivalent to 17.6 pounds of turmeric root, okay, in 10 drops. Can you imagine consuming 17 pounds of turmeric root? No, thank you, right? How is this achieved? It's achieved through science. Nanophy curcumin was developed in the University of Hohenheim in Germany with funding from the Federal Ministry for Education and Research. This is a German technology, this BioMS technology that is just launching here in the US. They call the process, this BioMS process, micellization nanotechnology. There's 3 technologies that we're going to talk about and why this is special, why we're seeing ridiculous results like we're seeing in such a wide variety of health conditions. And so first technology is they extract those curcumin particles, right? Out of the turmeric, they extract the curcumin. They apply this nanotechnology. And this nanotechnology, I'm from Missouri, right? The show me state. So I'm very visual. If you take the thickness of your fingernail and you were to make 1 million slices, if you can imagine 1 million slices through that thickness of your fingernail, one of those slices would be the size of a nanometer. And we're talking of particle sizes less than 30 nanometers with this technology. And it's still a lipid substance, right? So even if we got a nanoparticle, we're still going to have some struggles in getting that into the bloodstream that's mostly water. This is solved with micellization. So they wrap this lipid-like carrier in a micelle, which is able to carry in both fat, oil, water, right? And easily into the bloodstream. All right. And so this is why we talk about this reaching therapeutic levels 5 minutes into the bloodstream within 15 to 20 minutes into our cells. And we'll talk a little bit more about the research on that. And so this is how they've broken down those curcumin particles into nanometer size, right? And those little red dots right there. And then we wrap those tiny particles in a micelle so that we can carry that through the bloodstream easily and to the cellular level easily, also easily crossing the bloodstream, again, up to 277 times more bioavailable, okay? So this just gives you an idea. What size are we talking about with a nanometer? A strand of DNA is 2.5 nanometers. A red blood cell is 7,000 nanometers. A sheet of paper is 75,000 nanometers. Human hair is 50 to 100,000 nanometers wide. Now we're talking about approximately 30 nanometer particle sizes in this technology. Some of the advantages: improves the solubility, absorption, bioavailability, of course, achieves targeted action in the cells or tissues, promotes the passage of the active ingredient curcumin through the epithelial and endothelial barriers, decreases the possibility of toxicity, protects curcumin from degradation. Of course, the micelle, like we talked about, is able to carry this easily through the bloodstream. And the advantage of micellization is resistant to gastric juices and enzymes, of course, greater absorption, faster absorption, higher plasma levels, and increase in tissue levels. This is some of the science. I'm going to buzz through some of this. Some of you probably already yawning about the science, so I won't spend a lot of time there. But we'll start about some of the studies here. So this is just a study in the pharmacokinetics, the absorption of a single oral dose of 2,000 milligrams of curcumin, okay? All right, you might need to get your magnifying glass out or blow this up because this is the peak right here in 1 hour, okay? It's not super exciting. Would you agree with me on the absorption of this 2,000 milligrams of curcumin? So we have an hour, we have it up to here. Okay, this is not a therapeutic level. And then within 2 hours, it's gone. Okay, it's out of the body. It's not detectable in the bloodstream. Okay, we hear a lot of people talking and bragging about black pepper extract and how dramatic it increases absorption and bioavailability. Well, I'm going to show you how that is mostly false. Okay, so we're comparing the curcumin with the curcumin in the black pepper extract. Here in about 45 minutes, we get a peak, right? This is a peak, of course, much better than without the black pepper. But look by 1 hour where those levels are. Look by 2 hours, look by 3 hours, it's out of the bloodstream and not at a therapeutic level, okay? So this is hard to brag about, this little peak right here that lasts a few minutes. And also this interferes with phase 2 detoxification of the liver. This is how the black pepper actually leaves the curcumin in the bloodstream briefly longer, is because it interferes with that detoxification of the curcumin and its, of course, excretion out of the body. All right, this is our technology. This is the BioMS technology, and comparing both men and women. Here, you can't even see it, right? Because it's so close to the baseline, right? But here is native curcumin right down here. All right, it doesn't even leave the line because it's so small. And these are the levels that we're getting with this technology. And this peak is pretty exciting. That lasts over several hours, but look at this is what's more exciting. 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16, 20, 24 hours. We're still having measurable amounts of curcumin in the bloodstream over 24 hours later with one dose. This is unheard of with curcumin or turmeric supplementation. We know that it reaches your cells. This was just one study with this technology, and this is one of the things I just wanted to show you, that we know that it gets to the cells. It doesn't just get into the bloodstream, it's getting into the cells. What they did is they dosed the BioMS technology in patients that had glioma cancer, right, brain cancer, they were going in having surgery to extract this brain cancer. So prior to the surgery, they gave them the BioMS technology. They did the surgery, and they were measuring high levels of curcumin in the cancer cells, okay, inside the cancer cells that they extracted during the surgery. So that's powerful. One, because most things that we consume by mouth, most herbal supplements, most pharmaceutical supplements do not cross the blood-brain barrier, and certainly wouldn't be found in cancer cells inside those cells, okay? Studies are showing that these nanomicelles are able to penetrate the blood-brain barrier. They act on neuroinflammation. We're going to talk, we have an exciting actually testimony from Liz tonight on a customer of hers in relation to neurodegenerative conditions. Blocks free radicals. It activates mitochondrial biogenesis that creates new powerhouses in our cells. This is why a lot of people notice improved cognitive function and improved energy with this supplement. It activates neurogenesis, creating new neurons in our brain, and that also is super exciting. These in that same study, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, it chelates metals. This is all related to brain health. Anti-amyloid, we probably hear about amyloid plaque in things like Alzheimer's disease. Neuroprotective, neurogenesis, creating, of course, new neurons. Improved cerebral circulation, blood flow to the brain, safe, inexpensive, easily available. And hey, how'd I do? Let's see, what time was it? All right, I did that in under 30 minutes. I covered all of that information.
I thought you were at my house at the Indy 500. You just lickety split like that. That was amazing.
That was a lot of information to cover, but I wanted to fly through that. We're gonna record this, so if there's something that you missed or you want to review again, we'll definitely have this available as a recording later. Get back with whoever invited you. Thank you, Iona. Appreciate that.
That was great.
And if there's any questions, toss those in the chat. So we're going to have some testimonials coming up here. And the main thing is, before you hop off here, is make sure, if you haven't experienced this technology, either you or I guarantee somebody in your life needs to hear about this. And so either get them the copy of this, get with the person that invited you to be able to try this BioMS technology. Yes. And I guarantee you that it is life-changing. Anna, did I miss anything before we?
You did. That was amazing. We were a great team. You talked and I breathed for you. That was great.
Somebody breathed for me, right? Oh, good. Awesome. Well, let's see here. I've got a few. I think we'll ask Patti to share just a little bit about her experience. If Patti, if you'll unmute yourself.
Yes.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, Patti.
Yes.
Yeah, how are y'all doing?
Good.
Y'all do. It was great. I really enjoyed listening. I've listened a couple times before, Dr. J. I always learn something new. So I appreciate you doing this tonight. And I thank you for having me on. I feel very honored to want to hear my testimony. But my testimony started years ago because I've had inflammation for years. I've had joint issues. I'm 66 years old. I have had a lot of hand tightness, hurting in the mornings when I'd wake up. Had a trigger finger bother me the last couple of years. It would be like locked on me in the mornings. I would ride in the car. Oh, it would be maybe an hour, hour and a half, and I would need to get out. And then when I'd get out, I'd be very stiff and I would hurt. So I would stretch after going into the gas station and come back out. I'd do a lot of stretching. I'd get back in the car. We'd travel another hour and a half, and that made for long trips when we had to do that. So about in October, I heard about this product, fell in my lap, and we were familiar with turmeric because I said, when I heard it was turmeric, I said, curcumin, I said, no, it's my husband. I've been married 45 years. And he's actually sitting here with me tonight, listening. We have three kids and 6 grandkids. So I'll kind of fill you in a little about me also. But we were on a long trip, and we had just found this product. And I said, aren't we taking turmeric? And he said, oh, yes, we've been taking it for like 2 years from a company that sells just to medical professionals. And my husband's a retired dentist now. And so we had been on it, and we were actually on it for Alzheimer's prevention. I guess I can say that, but we didn't know if it was working or not. It never worked on any of the inflammation issues I had. So when I got on this new product, I mean, it was about 3-4 days, and I could tell a difference. We left and went on another trip, and about 4 days into it, I was coming home. I was not hurting. And it was such a miracle to be able to get out of the car and not hurt. And I was like, this can't be working this fast. And I know it doesn't work this fast on everybody. It just hit my system right. It was all lined up for it, I guess, but it worked like that. Then I started noticing sleep. And I started sleeping a lot at night. I would hit the pillow and go to sleep by the count of, I couldn't even count to 10. I would go to sleep, then I would sleep solidly 6 to 7 hours, sometimes 8, and not wake up, not even get up to go to the restroom in the middle of the night. I would just be out. So when you get that kind of good sleep, it starts healing pretty much the inside of you. It's like your anxiety goes way down. I didn't feel like I had the hamster running in my stomach all the time, and I didn't feel like I needed to be run. So I was able to slow down. It also helped with, memory. I'm trying to think of all the things it helped with. I've had a really long day. I've been up working on my computer stuff since about 5:30 this morning. So I'm got my liquid drops in my tea right here, trying to pump it back up. Got a few more hours tonight since it's the end of the month. But I have had such success with this product that I turned around and started sharing it with others. And so a couple of weeks ago, we were in Hawaii on a company trip. And 5 months ago, I could not hardly walk around our block because I was in such pain with the inflammation. If I make around the block, then I would have to sit down the next day and not go again. Well, in Hawaii, we hiked Diamond Head. And that's 500 feet up ascent in about 3/4 of a mile. So it's pretty steep. There is a pathway, but it was a challenge. It was a challenge, but I made it down, and I wasn't sore the next day, that was kind of a miracle because I thought I will be sore the next day, but nope. Took my drops, took some extra ones that afternoon, and I love this product. And it's like, if you haven't tried it, do it because you're missing something. You're going to miss quality of life. I am so much happier now. I feel so much younger. I don't feel 66 anymore. I'm about down to 36. And we are loving life. So get on it. That's all I can say. If you're not on it, get on it, and you will enjoy it. So thank you for having me this evening.
That's awesome, Patti. I like that. Get on it, right? That's pretty clear instruction. I think I saw a post just the other day of you hopping off of a wall or something. I'm like,
yes, I did that too.
Here. I don't know what in the world's going on, but that's awesome. Jacqueline, are you with us? Got to unmute for me. There you go.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's kind of darker in here, but is that okay?
Yeah,
Do you
perfect.
see me? Okay. Well, I'm definitely forever on these golden drops. I love these drops. Well, I'll just kind of give you a lowdown on where I started. 2020, I could barely walk anymore. And I'm 56. No, I'll be 56 in 3 months. But I have autoimmune, which is psoriatic arthritis, diabetes, you know, it never comes alone. And so diabetes, I had a fatty liver, I had high blood pressure, cholesterol, and then some. I was way overweight. And I said, okay, my doctor basically said, get it together, girl, or you're not going to be around. And I said, okay. So, and I couldn't walk anymore. My girls were having to get a wheelchair at the mall. And I thought, oh, no way. I don't want to live like this. This is not living.
Mhm.
And when we retire, I want to go have fun, you know? So, so I started my journey. I said, that's it. I started Atkins diet, kind of losing the weight. And for about 9 months, I did really good. Then I get to a stall, which I always do. Then I found another group, Eat Like a Bear. They're great. And then I found Jeremy introduced me to this product in October. So I think I've been on it for 6 months now, right, Jeremy? About that? Yeah. And what a difference. Oh my gosh. So I've lost 121 pounds. Totally got my life back. I got 2 total knee replacements. I no longer have to walk with a cane or the girls don't have to get me a wheelchair. Now they say, can you slow it down? We need to keep up. I said, you better hurry up because I'm gone. So then just every doctor I go see is just like shocked. First, the diabetic doctor. I'm no longer diabetic. I don't have a fatty liver. I went from my liver, and I really don't know the actual numbers where you're supposed to be, but I went from 125 and her just mouth dropped. A1C of 13. I went down to, I'm 5.5, no, 6.4. Yeah, that's my goal, is to get to 5.5. 6.4 is the paper she gave me. Then I go to the eye doctor. This is the best part to me. Well, the diabetes too, but this part was where she just kept rechecking my eyes. And I said, okay, is something wrong? I was kind of getting nervous. She goes, I'm just floored. She said, have you done something different, or what have you done? Because I just seen you 6 months ago, but you know, your eyes have gotten like 2 prescriptions better. And she goes, that just doesn't normally happen. Every year you've gotten worse. And she goes, it's 2 prescriptions better. I'm like, no wonder I can't see out of these contacts. They're so blurry. And she was just floored. She said, what are you doing? So I told her about the whole diet and all this. But I said, these drops, I believe with my heart that is not having diabetes anymore. Because I dropped the weight before. I know how to keep it off now. But I see these drops have just changed everything in 6 months. Like phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm forever on this.
Wow.
Yeah. I tell
Thank you.
everybody.
So your liver enzymes were 125, is that right?
Yeah.
And
I was
then would you-
almost into sclerosis. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic sclerosis or whatever, the liver.
What were your follow-up numbers on your liver enzymes?
23.
Wow.
23.
Wow,
Oh my gosh, that's great.
less than 30 is
I know.
considered minimum, so that's pretty amazing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, can you share with us tonight? Can you unmute, brother?
That might be a really good idea. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Jeremy, for having me. So I'll be very short and sweet and to the point. So you know a little bit about me. I'm not big on science. I'm not big on technology. If you ask me what to eat, I eat very clean, but I don't know too much about science like Dr. Jeremy does, right? So I heard of turmeric. I probably tried it a couple of times, but never really made much of it. And I actually suffer from a lot of inflammation. I've suffered from sciatic nerve damage, pain for about 12 to 15 years now. I work out a lot. I run half marathons, so I love to run. but it's so painful, right? So I've learned to manage it throughout the years. I found certain things that have worked, but I was actually able to me, this was key when I tried the product. I was able to replace approximately $250 worth of product for a $60 bottle per month. To me, that was mind blowing. And besides that, I feel like I sleep better. I've been able to sleep a good 6-7 hours and feel perfectly fine. Sometimes I'll work out in the morning and run at night. I also have suffered from asthma since I was 12 years old. I've been hospitalized, you name it. I would always take Claritin D every single day. The problem with Claritin D is that it's controlled. So I need 30 pills per month, but I can't buy 30 pills per month. They don't sell you as many. So I'm thankful to say today that actually I'm not taking Claritin D at all. I had actually previously replaced it with something else, but it was $250, like I mentioned. So to have a $60 bottle, that's helping me with so many things where I have no more pain because of the inflammation, and I don't have to deal with breathing or these allergies in California. I live in Palm Springs, California. To me, it's just a blessing. And obviously the energy, you go to the bathroom a lot healthier, like all these other minor benefits, right, that add up. But to me, it's just a blessing and it's so much fun. Like I literally took some earlier because my back was hurting, and I feel much better now, like literally 15 minutes later. And I don't know if anybody's here for the business side of it, because I'll be honest, I heard about the product because I'm a business oriented person. It was not so much the product. It seemed like a great business opportunity, being first in the USA. So that's why I was open to it. But let me tell you, I've been in network marketing for going on 7 years now. And my family, my friends, they got sick and tired of me, especially my siblings. Got to the point where I have not shared any kind of product in the last 2 years with them. But about a week or two ago, Dr. Jeremy was another Zoom as well with Anna. We're talking about COVID. They were talking about COVID. It's the first Zoom call that my brother and my sister joined, and my brother's in the medical field as well. They were on the call the whole time. They're both officially now on the product. They're sending me pictures and selfies of them taking the product. So it's just amazing. It's been such an easy conversation with people. So that's my quick 3 minutes. And I encourage you all to invest in yourself, invest $60. It's worth it. And trust me, you're going to want to share just like we are tonight.
Oh, awesome, Tony. Thank you so much for sharing that. So the sciatica is better? Awesome. Thank you. So we've talked a little bit about some different things, a lot related to pain and inflammation, which I think is super exciting. I asked just earlier today, Liz Ford to hop on and share a customer testimonial that I saw earlier today that just actually brought me to tears. If anybody's ever experienced Alzheimer's disease in any form or fashion in their life, know what a devastating and heartbreaking condition that is. And so I asked Liz to come on and just share her customer testimonial.
Hello, everybody. I'm pretty new at the company. I actually started about 2 months ago because I'm a runner actually too, and I'm running half marathons and full marathons. And I had fallen in love with turmeric and about 9 months ago, the powder form, but I'm a personal trainer and a running coach. So I knew that it wasn't really absorbing well. And so this was like a godsend because I had some knee pain. And so that powdered turmeric, it got rid of my knee pain. But then I was like, oh, well, maybe this liquid turmeric would do more for me than just take away my knee pain. So I ended up with better sleep, better focus, less, brain fog, that kind of thing. And I also realized just this past weekend when running a 15-miler that I had no soreness in my hips or my knees. Wow. And my blood sugar was regulated. So I'm hypoglycemic and I only had to take 1 gel pack, and I usually have to take 3. So that was huge for me. And when I saw what it did for me, I knew that I needed to share it with other people. So I told my friend Christina about it at church, and I said, hey, I know you're a caretaker for this woman that is 84 years old and has Alzheimer's. So I really know that this would help her. And I really feel like since it's helped me so much, much, it's going to help her. And so she said, okay, well, let me talk to her son. And this woman has been living with her son for about 2.5 years. And he already has his mom on like whole foods and organic foods, and really wants to take care of his mom, knowing that she may or may not live very much longer with this Alzheimer's. Well, she would get lost in her own house. She would try to pack to go home, even though she's been living with her mom. She's been living with her son for 2.5 years. And she would, have the same conversations all day long with Christina or with her son. She didn't know that she even had a bedroom. She would walk around aimlessly. She would forget things, not really know where anything was. And so 6 weeks ago, I introduced Christina to this, and she started her on a half dropper, just the normal 10 drops. And then after seeing an interview with one of the doctors, I believe, from Hawaii, that said, for some people, they need a full dropper. I said to her about a week and a half ago, I said, hey, how about you give her a full dropper and see if that does more? Because what she was initially getting from a half a dropper was just better energy, sleeping better. Her mood swings were pretty much eliminated. So those are the things she saw. And so she was like, well, that's great, because Christina was saying that it was really hard from day to day dealing with, everything this woman was going through. She would take her to a exercise class and she would hate life, not want to go do half the exercise class and just be angry about it. Well, so she was still confused, still packing to go home. She put mascara on her lips. She would put her makeup on twice. She wouldn't know where her toothbrush was when it was sitting on the side of the counter. Well, this past week, she started her on a full dropper of the turmeric, and she remembered that Christina loved to dance. She asked if Christina cut her own hair, which Christina did. She used to ask when the person was coming to cook or the other person that was coming to clean, yet it was all Christina. And she didn't even ask that. She remembered that Bob Hope would show up on the episode of Golden Girls. She also wanted to listen to the music while bathing, and she had never asked to do that. So she was really getting her life back. And she also put her clothes on correctly instead of inside out. She remembered to brush her teeth without prompting. She even went to the exercise class for a full hour. Remind you, she's 84 years old. So she had all the energy to do the exercise class, even came home. And when her son came home from work, she told him about how she went to the senior center, and there was a Black man that had so much personality, and she really liked his personality. And then also I checked on her today. So I checked with Christina and I said, how is she doing? What have you seen today? Because she a lot of times blows up my phone with the new Norma story, and she said, well, she is doing really well. She continues to remember things even from yesterday, from last week. So she's continuing to see progress with her. She's just happier. She wants to continuously go to this exercise class, which is helping her too, and just seeing overall amazing results. So it is such a godsend, and I just can't even believe what it's doing for this Alzheimer's patient. So she had put this initially on Facebook, just out of the blue, put this whole story on Facebook, had told me most of it, but put it on Facebook and said, if any of you guys want to order this from Liz, like I'll give you her number. And I now have a 93-year-old woman that's on it, and she doesn't realize she has Alzheimer's. And so her daughter even said, hey, when you're talking to me about it, because she was in the car, had just gotten her hair done, just make sure that you're saying it's for arthritis and how it's going to help her arthritis. And I'm like, well, that's not lying, because it'll help her arthritis too. So now we have a couple of patients on it, and it's just absolutely amazing to see just what it's doing for Alzheimer's all around.
Wow.
I just love it.
Gosh, just speechless. I read this story earlier, and it just brought tears to my eyes because, I had a grandparent, and I remember that you know, seeing him lose, he was such a strong man, and seeing him lose all of these faculties and not recognize his family and not know how to do basic things, right? And it's just a heartbreaking condition. And to see something so simple that could make an impact in somebody's, you know, cognitive abilities is just remarkable. And we, you know, there's plenty of research to back up the use of this with neurodegenerative conditions, you know, and of course we can't make claims to treat or cure, but it makes sense with the volumes of research that's out there that this could be a helpful tool in somebody's healing journey. And so, and people won't know about this unless we share it with them, because most people have tried curcumin and turmeric, and some maybe have even experienced a few benefits, but I promise you they have never experienced anything close to what this can do. And so I'll turn this back over to Anna, our host, and let her wrap it up for us.
Thank you all for showing up, and thank each one of you for sharing your story. I didn't have any Kleenexes on my desk, and I really needed some today. You know, it just makes you understand why we choose to share this product. When you hear the stories about the lives that are being changed, every week we're getting new stories, and they're so powerful. So tap into these resources, you guys. All of these, I'll have this one up by tomorrow. All of our videos are available for you to share how Dr. Jeremy teaches on all these topics. But if you're here and you haven't tried the product, reach out to the person who invited you. They cared enough about you and your health journey to invite you here. So reach out to them. It's a great investment of your money, because you know what? If you don't like it, it comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. You just cannot go wrong. So, I really have nothing else to say. I just cannot believe this. We did 4 testimonies and a whole presentation in 45 minutes. Welcome to the Indy 500 with Dr. Jeremy. So this was great. Thank you all for being here. And does anybody else have any questions, anything they want to share, or are we all good? I guess take care. Have a wonderful night and be blessed.